welcome back to what can only really be described as insanity held together with a loose connection of sentences and string. Joshiraku being just a group of friends, maybe? Telling tales and jokes and stories to each other in a single room with some interesting imagery along the way. But while they are doing off their performance and stuff, there is little bits and pieces for us to get a hold of. Unfortunately, it did mean phantom pregnancies and wrestling masks. Not what I really expected from a second episode, to be fair. But hopefully, you're going to be enjoying some more dumb jokes, kind of along the same vein as Nishijo, where I was never really sure what was going to happen. And I do love that kind of insane, roundabout everywhere humour, so I'm enjoying it. There's only one thing left, to sit down and see some more. Also, is there going to be a moment where there's an existential crisis and we start regretting our lives? Considering the outlook of one of these characters, which stands quite much stronger than some of the others. I think out of all of them, there are definitely some that are shining a bit brighter, at least in characterization. But it is fairly... they are fairly distinct from each other. I think just based on response, you can probably guess who it was that was saying it. And are we going to get many adventures outside in their usual clothes? Since it was such a big plot point in the first bit. And now I'm ready for the dumb joke. Come on, get it over with. Sake. Snow watching sake? I think there was a pun or something there which I didn't quite listen enough to the Japanese to get. Only 6 months. Only around the corner, 20 of them. I'd like some. I'd want some chocolate. I see she's the brains of this operation. Receiving the chocolate. I mean, didn't they say it was 6 months away? I mean, everyone just wants to get in early, apparently. Please don't force yourself to check. Start to doubt him. I mean, especially after the first episode where you stripped them clean. I mean, why exactly are they friends again? Don't believe you've got an ally there. Still the same Maddie, no matter what. If it's a boy or not. I mean, the only way to really settle this is to what give back all the chocolate, distract them with something else. Really, just yeah, it's not very feminine, is it? Wouldn't they just press harder that it's a boy cross-dressing, trying his best to come across as a woman? Even you. I mean, something snapped. I mean, the Japanese seating positions has always been, well, not confusing to me, but impossible. My legs go dead almost instantly. I mean, if there's no one left to call her a boy, then the situation is solved, isn't it? Tie her legs to something. What are they? How does this help? As long as it's the image of her doing it correctly. If you don't bring it up, maybe they'll forget to prove it. To be fair, out of all of them, the one that would be like the antithesis might be her. Have we really spent about 5 minutes just discussing whether or not she's a boy in cross-dress or not? Not due to a misunderstanding or anything, just because they're doing their best to annoy her. And, I was going to say there was some drastic event that happened, but going down as with an illness is one as well. I don't see there's a winning way out of this situation. That's just part of growing up, isn't it? Point of things being blamed on you, and there's no way out. No one believes it's what? Poor Pierre. I mean, vive la révolution. Okay. Past life syndrome and everything aside, I thought it was a veritable amazing speech. Do they even know what it means to be? That's not masculine, feminine, or anything. That's just being homeless, isn't it? Being hardworking, at least. And how, pray tell, is she going to fail at this? can fully enjoy. And that's how you finish that entire section? Fine. Fairly knowledgeable. Yay! I mean, it would be a place for tourists to visit, I guess. As long as they're not being too annoying. How 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 so? She's very philosophical, isn't she? As long as they somehow don't end up breaking it. There's some very puffy shorts. And then there's, if you really get into it, there could be a never-ending conversation about architecture, structures, the aesthetics of local famous places. Actually, I want to see that fight. Country to country, who wins? Each to their own. Some actually might bring some more, more meaning into going through a gig like this than others, but still. Depends how spiritual they are, I guess. Even the way they take the pictures kind of suits their personality. Cure for? What are they trying to cure themselves of? Are you sure about that? Anything? Anything particularly wrong with her fashion sense? So there is a panacea, a cure-all, some snake oil smoke to anything and everything. I wonder what nonsense would be cured if I bathed myself in some of that smoke. Which character to use and stick with it. I mean, the good thing is there's no difference in readings and anything when it comes to Romanji or English. Well, apart from our ways of pronouncing things completely different all the time. But I've always wondered the fortune stuff. How many people actually hold that as gospel? Yeah, finally someone did. She seemed quite happy about that. What's lost is lost forever. Is she going to try and bring down everyone with her? This place is famous for ruining people's lives with their luck. That's actually kind of a good lesson. I think more people need to be a little more cautious. I mean, it would be just short waiting time. Run. Scream and run. Who has the orange juice? Ah. I mean, yes, the old man coming through there. The way she was drinking that. But will all their other collective bad lucks really cancel it out? So it's really rubbing off, isn't it? Really? Perspective is everything. Wasn't expecting the accordion on the. Excuse me. Was it? I mean, just maybe you should stop scratching in the middle of the mosquito. Is this going to be the same undefeatable warrior that Saitama couldn't defeat? Not even going to pretend that there's a mosquito there. The first two you can get away with, but maybe they're just inviting you into attack from it. She's a skilled warrior. I mean, how many mosquito bites did they? She's just not tasty to them. Really? Are they all just going to crowd around her then and try and get in the same bit? She has, I think, experienced some good fortune throughout her life there. How is this one for the best? Oh my god. That's why it's for the best. Didn't get on the train, not stuck. And she's not even cognizant of her fortunes there. And then the wall, then the wall. There's some structural issues with this place. If this was a part of my life, I would be crushed under the wall and go through the floor. Yeah, who's taking these? That's who's taking them. And they're just going to have to reenact in the shop, walking, brushing her teeth. What is it from the static or something from the TV? What are you talking about now? Is there any actual analog signals even left? I don't know if it's what she's talking about there, but the fact of Japanese thanking their tools and the like. What? Her eyes! I mean, I've never seen such a grand malfunction like that on it. Well, on anything, really, but even less so a TV. Or she's just smart enough to know, oh, this is screwed, I'm going to get rid of it. There's a conga line of trying to take on her good luck. Right in their footsteps as well. By the time that level of fort is finished, they're long gone. But so far, no one's exploded, so maybe it works. Thanks, I had no idea what that was. Yeah. I mean, it's a different kind of stage show. Hang on, where's the main girl who started all of this? I wonder what the audience is like with this rave. Oh, there's actually a few there. Fuck this shit. I think, right, so the universe transpired against them to keep her safe from that humiliation. And now we come to the watermelon. Do not let her go alone. I do not trust it. And some pressure built up in there. I don't think I've ever seen someone have their room destroyed with exploding fruit. Oh no, there's probably a YouTube video or two. But we know whenever there's a disaster, there's one that would always survive unscathed. I think it's less her having good luck from the universe and just knowing when to get the fuck out of there. Still, I wonder how long the other guy is going to be in that position of management if he puts down a breakdance rakugo and it fails miserably. The audience turns ugly and starts assaulting them. Still, that mosquito fight. That seems exactly like something that would happen with my brothers. That was a mosquito! And that was just because I wanted to. Sometimes I really do wonder what's going on, mainly because I've missed the joke, punchline, wordplay. Or it's just so abstract as to not make much sense anyway. Just sit back, enjoy the ride, and destruction of everyone around. I definitely know a few people that would hold those kind of fortunes and whatnot from the shrines as gospel. Someone that would be like, "Oh, I received bad luck, therefore, what's the point? Everything's gonna go wrong anyway." Personally, superstitious nonsense is superstitious nonsense. Oh, great misfortune, cool. Or if I got a great fortune, well, maybe I can sell it. It would come true then, wouldn't it? So, apparently, the characters of this show have a short term memory and forget what happened in the very first episode. If they're so gung ho on proving femininity and whatnot of one of the girls, well, just introduce yourselves again. I'm sure you'll solve it pretty damn quick. Joshiraku has been a show which is on the verge of that kind of mind-numbing word game bullshit that we used to get with Gintama, the slapstick comedy that we used to get with Gintama, the absurdism from Nishijo, with some of the in-depth wordplay from Monogatari a little bit. Joshiraku being a show which I can come back to confidently no matter what episode it is and not know if it was the one I'm supposed to be watching next, because there doesn't seem to be any sort of overarching plot. I think there's an overarching plot of the episode itself. Time is an enigma when it comes to this show. As long as they're somewhere near the stage to perform when needed, everything else is fair game. I never really know what any of these characters are thinking, what's going through their minds, mainly because, well, you've got one that just speaks in... Well, mainly because you've got characters that hide their true feelings behind cutesy, bubbly personalities, and others that would rather they were a shadowy puddle in the corner, left to be forgotten. I think the fact that so far we've had most of these characters who have such strong personalities, I don't know if they bounce off each other quite, naturally, but the fact they are so distinct means that for any situation, there's going to be a varied set of responses. It's never going to be really a dull moment, is there? But thanks to that, there's plenty more to see. Whether or not you want to visit the Arc de Triomphe or the failed quarry site that is Stonehenge, there's still plenty around the world to actually think about and visit. I will say that something I've maintained throughout all of the anime I've ever watched is that the Japanese and their festivals and functions and whatnot surrounding minor things is something I greatly adore. There's not that sense of community or even fun-loving spirit over here. But 3 episodes in, I still have no idea what the point of this show is, but I'm enjoying it wholeheartedly. Hopefully you are as well. If that is the case, please let me know. If anything here has entertained you, leave it down in the comment section. Maybe even leave a like on the video if I've done something. But for now, if you want to make sure not to miss out, consider subscribing, maybe join onto my Discord. Most importantly, to avoid any watermelon mishaps, stay away from any bulging fruit, get some rest, and I'll see you in the next one. What the hell was this episode? If you want to help push my luck and avoid what the universe has in store for me, consider joining onto my Patreon. Keep the channel running a little bit longer and really be the ones to make your own luck. And with that, I do need to thank Noku, Sal, Croyville, Ruben Finamawa, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Light Wizard 91, Shiwan, Dory Jane, and everyone else. Because if it wasn't for them, the watermelon fate may be headed my way.